Good morning, I am back. It is Monday, August 21st. Welcome to session 17 of my $1 million journey. My name is Edward James Carey. Welcome to Praxis Living, where I create content to help you create the life that you desire. There is a lot of activity going on in the pre-market as I'm watching, so stay tuned. Today may be a different day than the past couple of weeks. I will be back soon when the market opens. We will continue this day. All right, I am back. Let us go to the market and see what is going on this morning. There is a lot of interesting stuff happening in the morning. If you remember correctly, on Friday, I left a position open of a total of 29 shares to sell at the opening bell of $30.75. Well, as you can see, the current pre-market is $31.32. And in fact, if you notice on the screen here, I've created a secondary green line here because pre-market is so high that what I was able to do was not only take these 29 shares that I was targeting to get rid of, but I was also potentially able to add in 3 shares from a couple of weeks ago that I purchased at $37.10. And that is represented by this green line up here of $31.32. Now, I don't know if I'm going to let those extra 3 shares go. I just found it interesting that I had the potential to maybe get out of those shares at opening bell as well. I think the safest play here is for me to actually ignore these 3 shares, just go with the original 29 that I have set up, and allow them to close at whatever the market opens at. And we are 60 seconds away from the market opening, and letting those 29 shares go without concerning myself with these other 3, that is going to allow me a very significant profit in addition to recovering one of my stuck shares at $32.29. So for now, that's the plan I'm going to go with. I'm just going to watch the opening bell. I'm going to watch these 29 shares sell off, and then I will figure out what to do moving forward. So we have down 20 seconds to go, and now look at the pre-market plummet all the way down to $31 again. I hope you're paying attention this morning because this is a very clear sign of market manipulation by large institutions. Share values do not jump that fast without heavy market players in the mix. Okay, the market has opened. My sell order, I'm waiting to fill. There's obviously a delay here. Ooh, we are back to $30.87. What did my limit actually fell at? So the market fell so fast there that I'm actually curious now about what I actually got out of the market. Okay, so my 29 shares actually filled at $31. Okay, which was 25 cents per share higher than the $30.75 that I was looking for. So the first thing to start my day is I can cross off those 2 lines on the sheet. And I'm really not going to keep score here. I know that I made a profit on these because the sell limit was $30.75 and I actually got $31. So I actually made 25 cents per share on 29 shares. So I'm going to take those off the list. This has been a mission success, and I am now going to figure out how to proceed with my day. I'm also going to cancel this line here because it's no longer relevant. All right, so what had happened was the early market value was, the pre-market value I saw as high as $31.85 this morning when I looked. And as you can see, when the market opened, it opened at $31.08. So I was doing some research on the weekend, expanding my knowledge and awareness of trading as a retail trader. And I am now very much more aware of the position that I'm in as a retail trader. I am playing against large financial institutions that love this game probably even more than I do at this point. And I was watching some video content on some very specific things that large institutions will do in order to shake out weak retail traders. And it was very entertaining stuff. And I'm pretty sure I just watched an example of that in the pre-market. You remember throughout the days last week, some of the days in the afternoon, you remember how slow things go with the volume in the morning? Sometimes, like, look at this over here. You see late in the day, 21 shares, 68 shares. Over here, 500 shares, 400 shares. Now, compare that to this morning here. Look at what's going on here. 14,000, 11,000, 14,000, 13,000, okay? There's a very big difference between retail traders who are actively trading in the market and then institutions who apparently don't do a lot of active trading, according to the material that I watched. They like to sit with limit orders on buying and selling and just create supply in both directions and allow retail traders to find those actively. And it's just a weird bunch of stuff. So when I watched the market drop suddenly, right before opening bell, within the last 5 minutes, drop from 3180 all the way down to an opening bell low of, well, the bell opened at 3108. I was fortunate enough to catch mine at 31 before it plummeted all the way down to $30.75 again. That is almost a $1 swing. To me, that tells me that institutions had planned on selling a bunch of shares this morning to retail traders. Now, I don't know. I'm new to all this stuff, and what I'm giving you is it's third party. I wouldn't even put a lot behind what I'm saying right now. I just found it very interesting info. So what I'm watching today, I'm watching the morning bell, and I'm watching with a whole new lens to see just exactly how much nonsense goes on in the morning before things settle out into the day. If you had been watching my videos from the beginning, you know that I like to get involved in the morning as an active trader. I'm now rethinking that strategy because it's so easy. My chances of getting caught holding shares that I don't want to be holding on to are so high in the morning trading activity compared to the remainder of the day. That's where I've been getting stuck. And so, you know, you're watching this journey along with me, and I'm attempting to get better and better and better at what I do each and every day because I have a very aggressive goal to accomplish. And if you've been watching this series, you know what that goal is. I'm attempting to reach $1 million by December 31st, 2023. Now, if you're looking at the calendar, then you can see I have slightly over 4 months to achieve this, and I only really started with a balance of $50,000. Now, granted, I think I've injected an additional at least another $6,500 out of my own pocket since then. So I'm thinking now it's more like I'm turning $56,000 to $58,000 into $1 million. So just for transparency, I had 50, but in light of what's been going on in the past 2 weeks, I've injected extra capital. There was a day I injected an extra 200, another day an extra 5,600 came in. I think last week I injected another 700 or 800. So I am paying attention to all that, just so you know. So, you know, instead of continuing to repeat, I'm turning 50,000 into $1 million. I'll just go with I'm turning 60,000 into $1 million. Let's just start there. An extra 10,000. Most likely I'm going to be taking that cash back out fairly soon because, well, I do need to make sure that my cost of living is covered, well covered, at least for the next 60 to 90 days while I'm getting my grounds and my leggings on this trading. So yeah, I may be dipping heavy into my account within the next 30 days, just so you know. Of course, I'll update you when that happens. Today, let's get back to things. I now have my initial trade balance back. I have a new balance of $912.26. I'm looking for opportunity today to continue my journey on dollar cost averaging. That being said, we are also starting to get high enough in the market, 31.08. I have other shares which I purchased at 33.21, 32.75, 32.74. I have some that I purchased at 32.86. I have others that I purchased at 32.60. So as the market continues to climb higher and higher, I may not even have to dollar cost average my way out of some of these positions. I believe that's about 67 or 68 shares. How many do I have left to sell here? Yeah, I'm still holding on to 67 shares openly that are represented by these numbers here. Okay, that's the 67 that I purchased probably during last week when the market came down so low. And I would like to get out of these 67 shares, of course, but the value needs to climb as high as, well, just to be safe, I'm looking at the top number on there is $33.21. We're $2.10 away from that. Now, if you were watching on Friday, you know as well as I do that the market can go up $2 per share on shares of AI without an issue. I don't know if that's going to happen today. I'm still waiting to see what kind of day we're setting up to have here. I don't know whether it's a sell-off day, whether it's an accumulation day with institutions buying shares and loading up for the next rally up. I don't really know what's going on. It's too early to tell. So I'm just kind of along for the ride myself. In the meantime, it would be happy to get out of another 67 shares and free up that capital. But again, I want to try to see if I can wait and let the market do the work on that instead of me trying to dollar cost average my way out of the position. If I am going to dollar cost average out of something, it's going to be targeting this next 3 shares at 37.10. I want my dollar cost average targets to be near the top rather than near the bottom. So I can use what I call a pincher maneuver in order to begin freeing my capital. As the market slowly rises, my lower cost shares, these ones below $33 will sell off automatically. These 100 at 35.46 hopefully will sell off automatically. And I will just concentrate my efforts on targeting these ones at the top of the list that cost me $41.16, $40.51. As I release more and more capital, it will become easier and easier for me to leverage against those high cost shares to see if I can start recovering them. So that's going to be my strategy moving forward. Right now, I'm going to take a short break. We are very early in the day. It's 20 to 7 a.m. If anything happens to set me up for dollar cost average, I know already that it's not going to happen till around 8:30 in the morning. So I'm just going to enjoy some time early in the morning and I will return soon to see where the markets have gone today. Stay tuned. I will be back. All right, I am back. It is time to check the markets once again. We're right around 8:30 in the morning. It is 2 hours into the market. let's have a look and see what is going on. Okay, this is an interesting day. We've gone up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. We reached an actual low of $30.63 at around 7:30 in the morning. And then it rebounded back up to a high of 31.43. And currently it looks like it might be on its way down. It's hard to tell at this point. It looks still like it's undecided. Normally there would be a low point at this time of day. I am not participating in a market where it is moving sideways or right in the middle of around where I would want to purchase in. I'm trying to dollar cost average some shares out, which means that the lower price that I get on the acquisition of new shares, the better chance that I have of freeing capital on higher cost shares. So I think what I'm going to do, instead of trying to play in a sideways market, there is still another opportunity for things to get lower in the market around 9:30, 10:30 a.m. Ooh, breakout rally on the way up. Not exactly sure what the plan is today. I'm not exactly sure what is going on here. Seeing that breakaway from 30.96 all the way up to 31.08. It's interesting. Again, I am not looking at the markets the same way that I did last week. I'm looking at them with an entirely new perspective and lens as I look for evidence of some new knowledge that I acquired over the past weekend. I'm going to see if what I've been learning actually makes sense by observing the markets more than actively participating in them. But I also want to move forward with my own goals. I don't want to be completely paralyzed with information that may not even be relevant. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this low down here, $30.63. And since I'm going to step away for a little bit, I think that what I'm going to do is I'm going to, first of all, how many can I buy? Okay, I could buy 25. Can I buy 30? Nope, I can't quite afford 30 shares. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 10 shares in, but I'm going to set up a limit buy for those 10 shares. I'm not going to buy them at market, 31.12. This low back here was $30.63, so I'm going to go for a lower low than that. I'm going to go for $30 and let's say $30.45. And I'm going to gamble on the fact that I'm going to see, the market is going to see a downturn, a strong push down to try to shake out whatever's going on down around here. I'm going to buy in at $30.45 or not if the price doesn't drop that low. But in any case, I'm going to commit capital to buy 10 shares at $30.45 if and when it drops down that low over the next 1 to 2 hours. So I'm going to let that order sit, $30.45. I do have a plan if and when I acquire a new round of shares at that point, and I will update with what that plan is. In the meantime, I'm just going to ignore what I'm seeing in the market, and I'm going to continue to enjoy my morning. I will be back soon. Stay tuned. We have plenty of time left in the day. All right, let's have another look at the market at 9:30 a.m. and let us see what is going on. This is some interesting behavior. I have no clue what is occurring here. We have, the market was doing some up and down stuff. I decided it wasn't in a position that I wanted to purchase in at. It shot up right around $31.26, and it has been moving flat sideways for almost a full hour now. Oh no, this is about 30 to 40 minutes so far. The market has been moving flat sideways. I know that this indicates something, but I can't remember what it means. In any case, there's nothing for me to do right now. I'm basically waiting until we see which direction things are going today. So just a quick check-in. Not a lot to report other than some weird, suspicious activity going on right now. Stay tuned. I'll try to get a play in here some point in the day. All right, I am back to look at the markets. It is 10:27 a.m. We're at that time again of day where if there wasn't a low at 8:30-ish, there would be around 10:30-ish. So let's have a look and see what's going on, though. We are, again, not having a normal day. There's a lot of strange stuff that I'm going to be clear. I don't really know or understand what's going on right now, particularly this area right here. This completely flat sideways movement followed by a very rapid decline in share values, and then kind of a steady upward progression. There was a bolt right here at around 10:30, and that's to be expected. That's normal behavior from what I normally see. Right around this time, 10:30 to 11, there can be some heavy volume coming in the market. I do see it was met with a very strong rejection, though. You see the top of this candle here? The top of this green candle, which was a buy rally, had a very significant downward sell pressure, literally stopping it from climbing higher. And again, I believe that there is a lot behind the scenes going on right now that I still haven't figured out. So I'm proceeding with more caution today than you might see me normally do as I explore some new ideas and think about some new things with what I'm observing. In any case, the fact that the share values are hovering right around the 3150 space, this is not leaving me any room that I feel comfortable with in getting myself involved in any way, shape, or form. Let's look. I have a sell limit order for 64 shares set to trigger at $33.58, and we are within $2 of that right now. I do have 3 shares which I purchased either last week or the week before at $37.10, which I would certainly like to begin dollar cost averaging out of the market to get that cash back. But again, I'm not going to buy in at $31.45 with a market that is playing in the high space right now just to potentially get my money held onto while shares crash later in the day, if that is the case. So because I still don't know what the markets are going to do, and I still don't have a collection of shares that I can sell off at this point, even this batch of shares at 32.60, this is lumped into the ones that I currently have a sell order going for. And I'm actually not trying to break even right now on this group of 67 shares. I actually set them at a sell limit to gain a 2.5% profit on them as well. Otherwise, I could, sit here, try and hope that share values go up another $1, $1.10 today and try to break even on those shares, but that's not what I want to do. If anything, I'm going to let the slowly inflating share value take care of my sell limit orders automatically. I'm just going to concentrate on looking for new opportunities where I can buy in and dollar cost average a share that cost me more a little while ago and try to get it back out. But I would only do that if I saw the markets down around competing with this low point earlier back here in the day of $30.63. Up here at 31.51, this is not the place where I want to get involved. So with market values at this level, the only thing that I really feel that I could do if I was going to do anything at all is to consider switching to a different company. Now, I mean, I was looking at shares of AMD this morning. Have a look at AMD. AMD is behaving the way that I would expect to see. It had a rally in the morning. It fell throughout the morning, got to a nice low point around 8:30, 8:15 to 8:30 in the day, as expected, and then has made a slow run up most of the day. Now, as you can see down here, it was at a low of 105.67. It's currently hovering around 107.34 with a lot of day left in the day today. And that is the normal average behavior that I was expecting to see with AI, but it has not gone that way with AI. Let's look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA has been blazing a trail today, up 6.5% in a single day. Tesla, not far behind it. Tesla was higher in the morning than it currently is right now, but Tesla's up 6.2% today alone. So there are some companies that are doing really well today. And then there are shares of AI, which I have complete suspicion about today. I'm looking at the behavior and I am refusing to participate in it because at this point, I am very sensitive to the fact that I have most of my capital tied in shares of AI. I'm sensitive to that. I am sensitive to the fact that I have a very small amount of capital that I am slowly building in order to begin leveraging out of shares of AI. I'm sensitive to that. And then there's all this stuff in between that I'm looking at, and it is just looking like stuff that I want to steer clear of. So, this may be a short day. I still don't know. It is 10:30. I will be enjoying my lunch between noon and 2 p.m. So I won't even be here for the end of the market today. And I was hoping to look for an opportunity that I could set up now so that when I'm away for my lunch later, maybe something would happen. But I'm thinking that at this point, I might just have to have a little bit of faith and trust in the natural process of my journey and not try to accomplish more in a single day than I can do. I do have sell limit orders set, not just at 33.58, but I have another one set at 36.35. So if the market decides that it actually wants to start increasing, which right now it is testing, I call it testing. Okay. This market with AI right now, this activity is not going up. It is not going down. It is basically swinging back and forth between some very controlled high and low points that I can see here. And so it is doing probably a couple different things. It's testing some limits between high points and low points. It's testing some resistances. It's likely hunting stop losses that retail traders are setting in order, they're using what's called stop losses. And this is part of what I learned on the weekend. I don't use stop losses, and now I'm even more adamant about using stop losses than I was before in my ignorance. I specifically will refuse to use stop losses now because large institutions, they know how to hunt them out. Okay, and they will swing the markets up and down, specifically looking for people that have those stop loss orders in place in order to trigger them on purpose and liquidate those people's trades. And they'll do it on purpose based on whether institutions are looking to build their positions or looking to offload their positions. So I'm going to leave that for now. I'll talk more about it as I learn more and gather more evidence on this. Right now, it's just third-party information that I'm sharing with you that I picked up on the weekend. But in any case, I can see right now that the behavior today in shares of AI is not following. It's not following the S&P. You can see the S&P kind of did this thing. Now, in the case of the S&P today, its low point was right around the same time, but a little bit later, 845. And now, as you can see, the S&P has basically launched back up. And I don't know what it's going to do for the rest of the day, but it launched back up to 438 from a low of 435. So just trading in shares of the S&P index fund, I could have made $3 per share. So again, I'm not complaining about these opportunities I'm missing. All I'm doing is pointing them out as direct comparisons to what is happening with shares of AI right now, because AI is not behaving the same way as the S&P 500, the same way as NVIDIA, the same way as Tesla, the same way as AMD. Something different is going on with shares of AI. And while that is happening, I have some skin in the game. I have a lot of skin in the game. I am currently holding on to those shares and waiting for the control or the manipulation to be released on shares of AI to see whether we're actually going to go up or down at this point. I still don't know which way it's going to be, and it still is not giving me a lot of opportunity to see that. So remember, if you've been following sessions along with what I'm creating here, you know as well as I do that a lot of times, a lot of days, looking at AI is no different than looking at other companies on the market. We can look at S&P 500, we can look at NVIDIA, we can look at Amazon, Google, AMD, Apple, we can look at Tesla, we can look at all these companies, and AI normally on an average day follows the exact same activity as all these other companies. So for today, the fact that it is not following any of those other companies, when all of those other companies are behaving similarly to one another, it indicates to me that there is something different going on with AI today, and for that reason alone, I'm staying away. So I think I've said enough on this issue to give you an idea of what I'm dealing with emotionally and intellectually. I'm just going to choose to, I'm just going to choose to take the morning off. The only thing that I can see happening at this point is maybe with a little bit of fortune, AI will start blazing a trail upward, in which case maybe I will either trigger a sell order at a profit, so I don't care if it triggers, or maybe even get close so that I can work on that tomorrow. But in the case of today, I do not see an opportunity where I can get involved in new shares of AI with a reasonable expectation of a successful return. So I will return either at the end of the day or after the market closes to recap on how the day has gone, what I've learned in observation with it. But up until that point, between now and then, it's likely that I won't have much to report. So I do want to thank you for hanging out. Again, I will do a wrap up shortly. In the meantime, if something drastically changes and I do see a play that I want to take advantage of, I will happily let you know. So we'll see how this day plays out. All right, I am back. It is the end of the day. The markets are actually closed, but I did want to go over what I've noticed in the last part of the day here. So we'll have a look at the market screen today. Share values, they were playing in this space right around the time that I left last, and they did continue to climb, and we reached a high today of $32.22, which is actually good. The market did turn around in the afternoon after around noon and closed out the day at 31.78. But overall, I am liking what I'm seeing, where I'm seeing a recovery on the share values of AI. They're even up slightly after market, up to 31.91. Again, I have a position ready to close at 33.58. We still got a little bit of ways to go before we hit that magic number of 33.58, but with a close at 31.78, if the market is favorable tomorrow on shares of AI, and I come back tomorrow morning and we're up another $1 tomorrow morning in the pre-market, there's a good chance we might hit 33.58 tomorrow, but we'll find out tomorrow in the next session, which will be session 18, I believe. Yeah, session 18. So that's all for Monday. I wish there was more for me to do, but I just wasn't feeling the comfort. Plus, I'm watching for a sign of a whole other list of things going on, especially nonsense like this that I saw around the middle of the day, where the market looked like it was literally flat for almost 30 to 40 minutes of the day. I don't like seeing stuff like that anymore. It makes me really suspicious as to what's going on behind the scenes, but in any case, I'm still here to do what I do. And right now, that is going to be two things, actually. I'm going to go back to actually considering to begin trading for profit now that I see that we're on an upward cycle again over the past, since Friday, I guess. Looks like we reached a plateaued bottom of around 29. I know that we were lower than that. We were at 28 something per share, 28.50 or something. But we've started to go back up, and if this cycle continues on a rally up, hey, that's a great thing, but I'm not going to hold my breath on that and wait on that. I'm going to be following along with the increase of the value of the shares and doing what I can to make profit. At the same time, however, I am looking to recover my capital, which is a majority of my capital is tied up above the $39.50 zone. So I have a lot to focus on getting back there. A smaller portion of my capital is invested at or below $35.50. So if we're heading in that direction back into the mid 30s, that's great. I'm not going to hold my breath for the high 30s to early 40s. I'm going to be working my ass off to make sure that I recover that capital and then reassess whether I even want to continue playing with shares of AI or not. I don't even know if I want to do that at this point. So that's a bit of an update and a wrap on the activity of the day. I was able to close my initial position this morning right at the opening bell, which I held over from yesterday, and I was able to get my small portion of capital back. I'm up to $912. But then I didn't see a comfortable place to enter, specifically with the idea of target averaging my dollar cost on these three shares that cost $37.10 a piece. So I will be looking for an opportunity tomorrow to continue that idea and to see if I can make that idea a reality. And with a little bit of luck tomorrow, maybe I'll close these extra 67 shares at 33 and change if we hit that on tomorrow's movement. So if you've been watching today, it's been a slow day. I apologize for that. Some days are like this in trading, but I also know that things are going to get a lot more exciting and a lot more dynamic pretty darn soon. So if you've been liking these videos and you've been subscribing to the channel, again, I appreciate that. I thank you for the support, especially at this time in the early phase of the development of my channel. Doing those little things, liking the videos, subscribing to the channel, they help me get the message out to more people who are looking to better their lives financially. And that's what At least right now, that's what this channel is focused on doing. Helping people create the lifestyle that they want, but specifically right now, in the area of finances. You've been watching me, Edward James Carey. This has been my $1 million journey. I will see you again tomorrow morning, bright and early, for Tuesday, session 18. And you can follow me on that session right over here.